a recording that sent shivers down the spine of scientists. A deep, low hum, slowly rising, echoing not from one place, but from multiple hydrophone stations across the Pacific. The sound was given the name, Bloop. Some said it was the call of a giant sea monster. Others believed it came from a volcanic eruption deep beneath the ocean floor. But what was it, really? Let's look at the evidence and uncover the truth behind the bloop.
Cable's clear, latch secured.
In 1997, NOAA's hydrophone network recorded something unusual. A deep, low-frequency sound massive in scale, powerful enough to be heard over 5,000 kilometers away. Scientists were puzzled. What could create a sound this extraordinary?
Noise floors around -70. Copy?
Copy that. I'm seeing the same on channel 2. Swell height's holding
To
at
understand the
1.8
bloop,
meters.
we first need to understand the tool that heard it. A hydrophone is a special kind of underwater microphone placed at strategic points across the ocean. When a powerful sound is picked up by multiple hydrophones, scientists can estimate its origin using triangulation. But in the deep ocean, sound waves can bend and twist, making it difficult to pinpoint the exact location. One thing, however, was certain. The bloop was incredibly powerful.
Low-frequency vibrations travel efficiently through seawater, refracting between layers of changing temperature and density called the thermocline. As the waves...
Like all great ocean mysteries, speculation quickly followed. Old photographs, amateur recordings, folklore, and the bloop's oddly organic-looking audiograph fueled wild theories. Some believed it was a colossal sea creature, even larger than a blue whale. Others pointed to geology, a submarine volcanic eruption, or the cracking of the ocean floor. And of course, a few whispered about secret weapon tests. Why did people believe? Because the ocean is still dark, and darkness leaves plenty of room for imagination.
Scientists baffled by deep sea signal. Mysterious hum recorded in polar sea. An unexplained subsonic signal reverberating through the Pacific.
When scientists looked closer, the evidence began to point elsewhere. NOAA and acoustic researchers found strong similarities between the bloop and something called an icequake. The sound made when massive sheets of ice crack or break apart as icebergs calve into the ocean. Spectrograms of icequakes showed nearly identical patterns. In one case, a monitored iceberg, a 53, produced signals almost indistinguishable from the bloop itself. From this, a strong hypothesis emerged. The bloop wasn't a creature at all. It was the sound of ice breaking.
In 1997, hydrophones in the South Pacific caught something extraordinary, an ultra-low, powerful sound later nicknamed the bloop. Its source has never been visually confirmed, but...
So why did many assume it was a creature in the first place? Because the bloop's waveform seemed to rise in frequency, a pattern usually associated with biological sounds. At first, even some scientists thought it might be organic. But as more data was compared, a clearer picture began to form. The patterns matched the physics of moving ice, not the breath, heartbeat, or call of a living being.
These are the animal signatures: long, sweeping harmonics from the whale, and the staccato clicks from the squid. Now compare that to the icequake. Sharp, broadband bursts, energy stacked across the spectrum.
The bloop turned out not to be some giant, unknown creature. It was the sound of ice fracturing near Antarctica, what we call an icequake.
Science moves forward through evidence and comparison. Researchers analyzed hundreds of recordings, studying frequency patterns, duration, and how each sound rose and fell across time and geography. This analysis, combined with direct monitoring of ice movements and real iceberg events, gradually shifted the consensus toward the icequake hypothesis. Robert Ziak, one of NOAA's leading researchers, concluded that the bloop's acoustic signature matched those of icequakes recorded near Antarctica. Although the mystery of the bloop is now largely solved, its story still matters. First, it reminds us how little we truly know about the sounds of the ocean. Second, an icequake is more than just noise. It's a signal of shifting ice dynamics at the poles, closely linked to global warming. As our planet grows warmer, these frozen giants may move and break in new ways, and we may hear even more strange whispers from the deep.
Whoa, it moved?
That's not a whale.
Look at the count. 5 million watching.
What is that?
It's beautiful. What is that sound? Look at those lights. They're moving with it.
The bloop is at 2 million posts already.
You hear that?
Yeah, it's deeper than before.
Like something breathing.
Signal's still climbing. Wow.
Can't believe this is live.
Science may have explained the bloop, but for as long as we've existed, humans have heard things in the ocean that defy easy explanation. Long before microphones and laboratories, the sea was seen as the edge of our world, a boundary where the realm of humans ended and something else began. And from that edge, the stories of sea monsters were born.
Above, the world is carved by wind and cold light. Below, the ice falls away, giving way to a dark.
Science may have explained the bloop, but for as long as we've existed, humans have heard things in the ocean that defy easy explanation. Long before microphones and laboratories, the sea was seen as the edge of our world, a boundary where the realm of humans ended and something else began. And from that edge, the stories of sea monsters were born. In the waters of Scandinavia, sailors spoke of the Kraken, a creature as large as an island, capable of dragging entire ships into the depths. They said the sea would tremble and the water would boil before the Kraken emerged. Today, we know that sounds like these can come from underwater gas eruptions or the deep rumble of breaking ice. But to those sailors, it was proof of life beneath the waves, something unseen yet heard.
For centuries, sailors feared a monster drawn in ink and rumor. Beyond the myths, in the cold waters of the North Sea, truth hides beneath the waves. Here, the giant squid.
Ancient Chinese records spoke of water dragons that sang in the night. On 15th century Portuguese maps, illustrations of sea monsters marked the edges of unknown waters, places sailors feared to go. Every generation has its own bloop, a sound that cannot be explained, filled in by imagination, born from the deepest corners of the human mind. The blue whale is the loudest creature on Earth, yet even his voice can't match the power of the bloop. So the question arises, could there be something even larger down there? The deep ocean is a world without light. More than 80% of it remains unexplored, and every year, scientists discover new species. So even if the bloop wasn't a monster, perhaps something else still waits below, quietly hidden in the dark. Legends were born from our lack of knowledge, but also from our sense of wonder. Long ago, humans could only imagine and guess. Today, we have data and science. But the feeling of awe remains the same. Between science and myth, there is one thing they share. Both begin with curiosity. And as long as the ocean keeps its secrets, we will keep listening. Maybe the bloop was just ice breaking in the cold. But every time the ocean speaks, every time it whispers a strange new sound, we can't help but look into the darkness below and ask, what's really down there? And that's why we never stop searching.